Baldur's Gate 3, a digital version of Dungeons & Dragons. This game is, in many ways, a playful take on digital affordances, taking into full account what is possible if the user recognizes possibility. But before we dive in, we have to understand what affordances are. Early on, Davison mentions James Gibson, an animal ecologist who saw affordances as factors that determine what is possible in a given space. This carries over to the digital realm in games such as this, with developers setting these boundaries. Now, with that in mind, let's get into Act 1 of our fun little video. Alright, at the heart of Baldur's Gate 3 is character creation, and if you've ever played this game, you're probably like me. We make 86 characters just for fun. Will we ever get through the story? Probably not. But nevertheless, identity is crucial. In person, online, and in games. And in this game, identity is quite limitless. So let's dive into some of these affordances that the developers put in here for us. So first of all, we have our origin. So this is just like a backstory. You get to choose who you are, or you can pick one of the already pre-made characters. So for this video, we're just going to go custom. Now, you can see you also have body types here. So from smaller to larger. Identities are split up from male, female, and non-binary. Non-binary/other. So we'll get into a social media aspect in a little bit, but that's a very cool touch. So you can just go wild with this however you see fit. So for this, we are going to make a big hulking man. And then we go over one and we get our race. So if you've ever played Dungeons & Dragons, you're going to know there's a lot of races here to pick from. Again, this is going into identity, who you want your character to be, and just like any character in anything creative, a piece of you is kind of put into that character. So it's a very personal experience. So we got elf, tiefling, drow, human, githyanki, dwarf, half-elf, halfling, gnome, dragonborn, and half-orc. So for this one, we gotta go with the half-orc. Next, another affordance is your class. This is what you're gonna be able to do in the game. So if you like swinging axes, barbarian's probably the guy for you. Bard, you're gonna be playing some music. And a few other classes. We're not gonna dive into all of those. So for this, we're just gonna make them a tough barbarian. Background. Who were you in life? It's basically like making a social media account, but just for your character. Let's say he was a criminal. That sounds fun. And finally, is your character smart, strong? Can they be dexterous and avoid things? Are they good at talking to people? Those are all choices selected on this page. Same thing with your skills. What are you good at? What do you know how to do? And then finally, this is the part where those affordances really come into effect. You get to choose exactly who you are. Again, you'll get that choice of body type, identity, your voice.
Where to next?
What was that?
Let's hope the locals have...
Hell, be wary. It's opened.
More of those wretched things.
We're gonna go boring.
Magic.
Just pick a
Chest sealed.
tough dude voice. Then you can pick your face options, skin colors, well, anything you wish to select here. We're gonna go for like a wreck green, I think. That'll be good. There we go, that's about right. Maturity, age, freckles, vitiligo, scarring. Yep, there's that option too. We're going to leave the clothes on so you can use your colorful imagination. Eye color, heterochromia, certain things like that. So a lot of options here for people to choose who they want to be in this digital world. Next, you'll get to name your character. So let's just call him Raoul. That sounds like a good name, Raoul. And then you'll go on, make a guardian for story stuff. So since we already made a character, we're not going to make the guardian. We're just going to continue on to our next example. Yes, so we skipped ahead a little bit and made a few friends, as you can see. Now we're looking at this bridge leading to what appears to be a city. Now, in Davison's essay, she describes social media very heavily with affordances, but it leads over into games a lot. So on page 87, Davison mentions that in digital spaces, affordances may appear natural, but are designed by site creators to specifically direct the user to navigate the technology in a particular way. So as you can see, we have a footbridge ahead of us. That's an obvious sign. It means you should probably go forward a little bit. So as we go forward, we're going to get a save screen. And we get a sign that something's probably going on around here. But now, you'll see we have two paths. We can go through the gate or to the left. Another agency choice for the player, but written by the developers. So we're going to avoid whatever shade might be going on there. And we're going to cut to the left. We're going to see along this path is another split path, but we have something going on over here. And we have, it appears to be two gentlemen bullying a grandmother. Raoul does not stand for that, so we're going to go intervene. Again, that player affords that choice.
Lads, for the love of all that is holy, I've never clapped eyes on your poor sister.
Drop the act, hag. You was the last to see me, Rena.
Just let her go. Please.
You there? Please, I don't know what's come over these boys. I just want to go home.
Stop this. We won't ask again.
All right. So this is what was put before us, this little situation. And you'll see we have three options here. This is our dialogue option, as written by the developers, but we get to choose who we want our character to be. Are we going to side with the elderly woman? Are we going to side with the two gentlemen? Or are we just going to go, I'm not a part of this, and leave? That's up to us. So, let's try to help the old woman out. Why don't we?
Sweetie, be careful.
He's with the hag.
Don't bloody stand there gaping. Get him!
So, these two gentlemen are very convinced that this elderly woman is not just an elderly woman, but a hag, and now they want to fight us. So, I'll be right back after that fight.
Oh, my stars.
All right.
I didn't mean for this to happen.
Let's see here. Okay, now, from a player standpoint, let's say I want my character to go, oh, maybe something was a little off. So, do you know who this person is?
She's their little sister, and she's staying with me. This is all my fault. But I made a promise. Mayrina begged me not to breathe a word if they came looking for her, and my word is my bond. That poor thing will be distraught. We can't let her know. It'd break her poor heart. I'd best get going, but please stop by my house. I'd like to thank you proper.
Okay. So at this point, that was a little shady. All right, so we've arrived at this little house in the town there, and we'll see a wooden hatch. So when we went down here, we saw this little lever here. A little discovery for us, which opens a secret entrance. All right, so we enter this room, and as you can see, there is a big mirror right there. Let's go over to it and see what it is about. And then it says open. Huh. All right.
I do not know this name. If you are known to my master, step forward and declare yourself an ally.
No clue who that is, but we are friends.
Only a true ally of Ilintoth may pass. What think you of the Zolkir known as Zastan?
Let's go with one, I suppose.
A poor choice. You will be purged.
Okay. So then, this orb floats out? Okay. Alright, and so then, this will bring us into a combat. We'll get through this. I'll be right back. Alright, so we just completed that combat. Now we could walk over to the mirror, try talking to it again. But Davison points out two things here. Firstly, the system simply will not afford you the opportunity to move on until you have completed the form. Obviously, talking about social media, if you don't put in your email, you click submit, it's going to kick you back and say, hey man, put that email in, or we're not going to let you in. It's the same concept with this mirror, right? If you don't answer the questions correctly, you're not getting through. But the second point she makes is a site user may lack the necessary training to recognize that while only one affordance is being spelled out, other affordances may be possible. So, if one person may say, hey, I don't want to answer all these questions, I'm just going to leave. The next person might be like, you know what, I'm going to try to destroy that mirror because you're thinking outside of the box, looking for other affordances. So, as you can see, we set up some explosive barrels near this mirror, and we're going to see if it will crack with some fire. Now, while I sent my ally into a near coma there, you will see that glass is cracked. So let's go help her up real quick. There we are. And then we can get through to the other side. Except there are things to fight in here. But this is just showcasing that there are more than one way, or that there is more than one way to get to your goal in this game. So, this game, in and of itself, is just a game of affordances. Be who you want, play how you want, and work your way around puzzles, because there's multiple ways to solve each individual problem. This gives your players a sense of agency through a developer-driven story. So, I hope you all enjoyed. Have a good one, and I'll see you later.